It's time for the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Each week, Trading Stocks Made Easy demystifies stock trading and investing so you can profit big. And now, here's the host of Trading Stocks Made Easy, the wealthy investor, Tyrone Jackson.
Well, hello there. We are back. This is our post-Maui broadcast in which I am so happy. So, the Wealthy Investor Program, the higher net worth people, all meet in Maui once a year where we go through elite trading techniques. In other words, if you've been listening to me for a while, which I'm assuming you have, you know the value of covered calls, of selling options against stocks that you own as a form of income generation. Now, what we do with this methodology that I've put in place and used personally for the last 20 years, we use that income to not only support our lifestyles, but to also build wealth, to get free investment capital, if you will, to put it to work in the stock market. Now, one of the things that I'm very proud of is the amount of people that I have made millionaires throughout the course of the program. I've been trading for over 20 years. The Wealthy Investor Program has been in existence now for about 15 to 16 years, so I have the track record. Now, let me just tell you, I know there are a lot of people out there that claim they can guide you through the market, but can you imagine in over 16 years how many bear markets I've seen? In other words, how many markets have significantly pulled back and how many markets I've seen actually retrace? So, if you're looking for a guide through the stock market, you want to make sure that you choose someone that has had the experience covered call writing under every single market condition. So what we went through in Maui is how do we use today's stock market with all the craziness going on in the world with regard to tariffs? How do we use all of that activity to increase our profits above and beyond what goes on in a normal market? So for those of you who are at Maui, you told me this was the best one ever. And yes, it did get very emotional at times. We all shared our stories about what covered calls have meant to us. And rather than always teach, there are various ways to actually teach stock market success. And my favorite teaching tool is through a panel. So if those of you who were there, you remember at the end of the second day, the afternoon after lunch, by the way, the food was fabulous. I have a panel of all-star traders, people just like you who weren't born stock market traders. They come up on stage and I have an honest discussion with all of them about what trading has meant to them. So we met one guy this year who started basically like a hedge fund. We met another guy, this is third or fourth year in the program. We met a wonderful woman who does extremely well as a covered call writer outside of grant writing. And remember, for those of you who were there, she was originally a pharmacist, right? And she told the whole story about being a pharmacist and discovering the Wealthy Investor Program, and her husband had passed away, and now she has a whole new life as a trader. And then finally, we met someone who's a school teacher who's made himself into a multimillionaire, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and his road to how he did it. So when I have these panel discussions in Maui, I make sure that I choose people of various ethnic backgrounds and a cross-section of gender. So as you're listening to people on the stage, there's no way that you can say you can't do it because someone on that stage looks and sounds like you. And that's very, very powerful that you're able to see that. So there are no excuses in your brain as to why you can't be financially successful. I believe in you. And then I bring people as part of our Maui trip and our panel discussion who've done extraordinary things, and they're just like you. They've embraced the power of having an open mind. So that was very emotional for all of us. It got really real up on that stage. And then we stick around and we do another Q&A so you can go to someone on the panel and get information from them. And then I stick around, and it's a great event. Now, the 5-star hotel where it's hosted in Maui is beautiful. So I always challenge you and I say, go to the beach with someone today at this 5-star hotel and review some of the strategies and what was discussed. Now, I deliberately do not attend any of those events because it's really your participation with the other members that makes the difference. Otherwise, I'm always there as the teacher going, yes, you could be a millionaire. You could do it. I want you to mix it up with other people who are just like you. And that's what happened. And my assistant actually sent me back pictures and she goes, everybody was having a blast. And we got into very, very complex derivative math, right? So whenever you're weak in something, somebody else in the group there in Maui is very strong and they say, no. This is why we trade the Delta 40 when we set up spreads. And when we're covered call writing, this is why we favor the just out of the money call on a 7-day or 30-day call, et cetera, et cetera. So people are trading all of those wonderful notes. When I got those pictures back, everybody was so genuinely happy and energized. It was ridiculous. So you form your friends and your favorite bonds there with your friends, and it's a very, very uplifting experience. And then when I release my inner Oprah, some of you know what that means, and I just start giving away things like spa treatments and dinners and all these fun things you can do while we're there on the island. That is also another teaching tool, right? Because I'm trying to teach you what wealthy people do when they have excess and or residual income streams. So congratulations to all of you who actually went for a spa treatment and had a great time. And I can tell you this, we're going to do it next year. But while we were there in Maui, I revealed the fact that I've been working on something that is the Wealthy Investor Elite Trading Program. So let me explain to you what this is, because come September 19th, some of you are going to join this program. Since we have so many people who are already successfully trading in every market condition, by the way, in an up market, bear market, down market, neutral market, who are already at 6 figures and beyond, I figured I would form a program just for them. So in the upcoming Wealthy Investor Elite Trading Program, we're using our most popular tools as traders. So let me walk you through that. We're going to use volatility trading as well as purchasing leap contracts with straddles. So for those of you who don't know those terms yet and you haven't started making thousands of dollars with these trades, let me explain. Volatility trading is anytime we buy a stock and we say to the software, sell the stock when it moves $1, $2, $3, or $4. The most common move, as you know, is 1, so we can be in and out of a trade when the market is really high with consistency on an upward trending S&P or Dow stock. Really simple once you get that concept down. But then I show you how to layer that with covered calls, right? Now, we're seeing an awful lot of implied volatility go on right now in the stock market, so call option premiums are swelling up. We refer to that as a volatility swell, because with all this news that's coming out of the White House on a daily basis, volatility or uncertainty is at an all-time high. And we know, if you understand option theory, that when stocks are moving faster, covered call premiums swell. That means more income for us. Well, we then layer that with purchasing leaps. Now, in the Wealthy Investor Program, there are 2 different types of leaps. Leaps that we call Q to Q, which are leaps options that we hold from one earnings period to the next. And alongside Q to Q leaps, there are leaps options that we call fast money options that move on a daily basis. So could you imagine trading the shares for volatility, which we use software to do, right? That doesn't cost us any extra money, just the software inside of our Charles Schwab account or E-Trade account. It'll do the trading for us. And then we match that with leaps options for volatility trade, which we do have to execute, but we usually do that first thing in the morning. So if today, for example, was a high vol day and we were in the trade on Monday and today is Thursday and the stock did move, you're able to trade those leaps. Then I show you that really special trade that I only teach there in Maui, which does unbelievable rate of returns, and that's known as a calendar spread. Okay, so that we can get extraordinary returns whether the stock goes up or down on a regular basis. Now, if you're unfamiliar with trading and you don't have a financial education, these are just terms and words, right? But what I went over in detail this year in Maui is these trades are like a puzzle. And when you put them all together in one puzzle, you've got a variety of ways to generate guaranteed income. Okay? Now, this was for your cash account. What I didn't have time to get to was the sweep and how that exponentially grows your retirement account. So there's a lot of ways to make money in the stock market, but if you don't have that financial education, it's like there's a system out there that you just don't know about, that you are locked out of until you take that initial jolt into the wealthy investor world and you discover how much money is really available to you in the financial world. So as I tell everyone when I meet them for the first time, if you study these techniques, you really don't have any more financial problems. And some of you have come to understand that as not just a saying, it has become your reality. Now, in this elite program, which you have to be invited into. So if you're not on the email list and you've never taken an option course, you will never get this invitation. But if you join our community and our world, at some point, you will be invited into the elite program where I can show you how hedge funds make extraordinary sums of money on a regular basis. Now, we live in a world where hedge funds and private equity funds are earning billions of dollars and investing in a wide variety of things, not just real estate anymore, right? So if I can show you the technique that they're using, it means that your earning potential is unlimited. You just don't know the techniques that they're using. Well, what are they using to generate guaranteed money in the stock market? Covered calls, of course, dividend collection, and they have trades that are based on volatility, and they're using, here we go, straddles. Now, what is a straddle? It's when you buy a derivative like a call option, so when the stock goes up, you make money, and a put option, so when your favorite stock goes down, you make money. So I like to think of a straddle and a covered call as part of a sandwich, right? You have the stock in the middle where you're getting paid off the covered call and dividends, and then you have insurance policies of sorts when you own a call or a put. What I will be showing you when you join the elite program, because it's a 5-month program, what I'll be showing you is how to exponentially increase both your calls and your puts. Now, for those of you who took the last options course with me, remember I showed you a ratio, a formula for using both calls and puts. We will always want to have more calls than puts because we are bullish on the stock. Remember, in our world, we only choose stocks that are in strong upward trends where we're seeing 4 quarters of top-line revenue growth. I just want to take a few minutes and remind you of the basics here because this is a system, right? And when you use the right system in the stock market, it is harder to lose money. I'm not telling you that you can't lose money in the stock market. People do it all the time because they stop trading S&P and Dow stocks. But when you really get to know this system and you scale up the amounts of calls and puts, it is exciting beyond belief and it changes your life very quickly. That's why the Wealthy Investor Program has become one of the most successful programs in the digital world because it works. And I want to make a distinction here. I'm coming up on the commercial, but I'm going to try to squeeze this in before the commercial. You see, there are a lot of people in the online world teaching you how to trade. But when you trade, that is not a wealth building system. So in other words, if I teach you one trade you can place and make $2,500 a week, that's exciting, right? But imagine, rather than just $2,500, what if I taught you a system that created wealth for you and your family, not just a trade? And I'm here to tell you, it's the system that makes the difference between a trader and a wealthy investor. Back in a moment.
Want to increase your stock market trading profits? Then you need to start your monthly membership to WITradeschool.com right now. Don't understand how to write covered calls for monthly income? No problem. Simply review Tyrone's latest stock trades in our video library as many times as you need. WITradeschool.com is all about helping you get the financial education you need to earn money in the stock market and change your financial life. Tyrone Jackson, the wealthy investor, has helped his students earn thousands of dollars per month trading stocks online from home. These are people just like you. So what are you waiting for? Follow Tyrone Jackson's red-hot stock trades and investment strategies today. Don't wait. Start your monthly membership at WITradeschool.com right now.
And welcome back. This is our post-Maui show. So we've been talking about the new Wealthy Investor Program, which is the elite stock and options trading program that will be released this fall. However, you just can't go to thewealthyinvestor.net and sign up. You have to be invited into this community. And how do you do that? You have to take at least one advanced options course. So that is great. We just want to make sure we're dealing people who have the basic knowledge of how the market functions and then amp up their profits and their skills. So if you have yet to join the Wealthy Investor community, what are you waiting for? Most of the people who join this program have no prior trading experience, or they tried another program. They didn't like it because it wasn't consistent. Why is the Wealthy Investor Program so consistent? Because it's all about a system. So I'm looking forward to working with as many of you as possible on this Wealthy Investor Elite Stock and Options system. Why? Well, let's use some more knowledge that we've gained about the financial markets. In the fourth quarter, the last quarter of the year, is when volatility historically is at its highest. Why is it at its highest? Well, you've got a bunch of companies coming into their Christmas sales, and we know when that happens, stocks like Visa and MasterCard benefit because they make their money off of what? Credit card transactions, right? All right. Well, if the world of online shopping continues to grow exponentially every single year, those two S&P components in particular are going to do really well. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and buy those shares right now and you'll make $1 million. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that you know and I know that there are companies whose stock prices really move forward in the fourth quarter because Wall Street likes to get ahead of their earnings, right? But what you don't know is something I talked about in Maui also, which is this notion of correlation, that one company who's making money in the fourth quarter also has its own ecosystem. So other publicly traded companies who do business with that company also benefit. Well, if volatility on the shares are at an all-time high in the fourth quarter, great time to scale up on your leaps and perfect your straddles, right? Because stocks are all over the place, right? If that natural fourth quarter volatility is heightened by all of the uncertainty that the White House creates almost on a daily basis, that means that there are thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to be made per week. Now, some of you are starting to see this pattern. So for your advantage, a little bit of an unfair advantage, I'm going to launch this program in the middle of high volatility, right? So you can make money, I can make money, the Wealthy Investor community can make money, and it is played out for us because the market and circumstances are doing the work for us in the fourth quarter. Now, let me tell you something. If you're not excited right now to join this program, something is wrong. Because if you think about owning 10 LEAP contracts on your favorite stock and maybe 2 puts on a stock that is moving $3 to $5 a day. If you know anything about options theory, what is happening to those call options? They are rapidly changing price. Well, if the call option is a derivative of the stock and the stock is moving, you could trade both at the same time. So we're about to come into an extraordinary fourth quarter where for some of you, you are going to make more money than you've ever earned in your entire life as a wealthy investor trader, because I'm giving you the tools to do so. Okay? So our elite program goes every 5 months. You'll be able to get all my options courses, the group coaching calls, and I send you the trade. What more could I do to this than to send you the winning trades as often as they appear? So you're excited. I'm excited. It's going to be a great fourth quarter. Now, some people go, well, if you've done so well in the stock market, why do you help others? You know, some people have natural natures, right? And my natural nature is to share. And people who are into internal growth, spiritual growth, love to share and help other people, right? I just happen to be one of those people in life that love helping others. There's always someone in your family who's a sharer and loves helping people. And a lot of time, those people go to like a nonprofit organization and they volunteer their time. I do that too. But I also do it through a business and through a brand called The Wealthy Investor. So you see, the longer you stay in this community, the more you learn, the more money you make. It is up to you to commit to being a member of the Wealthy Investor community. Why? Because I've built my business demystifying the stock market, taking all the mystery out, introducing you to the language, and you just walk through the door of financial success. I'm happy to do it. I love to do it. It is my passion. The only thing that is missing in the Elite Trader program is you. Now, one special bonus that comes with the Elite Trader program, because the chemistry was so good and Maui and you all fell in love with each other, is, believe it or not, and I'm announcing on this show right now, I'm giving you a free 1-day workshop with me in Los Angeles, just so we can keep our chemistry going and reconnect with each other during this volatile, joyous period. What else can I do, people, to make sure that the Wealthy Investor community is happy and I get to spend some time with you right here in Los Angeles discussing these trades and these topics? It's going to be a wonderful day. So as we launch this program to create more trading success, the only thing missing is you, your brain, your participation, your curiosities, your questions, your answers, and your success. I don't want everybody in this program. I want people who are motivated, clear-minded, and who are interested in what? Getting off the work wheel 9 to 5. I want people who want to stop trading time for dollars and creating wealth for themselves and the people around you. That's how you and I create extraordinary change in the world. So we may not know if Social Security will be there, but we know the stock market will be there in the future, and we know volatility will be there for us to serve us as both traders and investors. That's exciting. Hey, that's going to do it for this post-Maui wrap-up. I hope you can join the Elite Traders program, as you'll be invited in within the next 30 days, and we'll start trading in the fourth quarter, taking advantage of all that lovely volatility. I'm Tyrone Jackson, the Wealthy Investor, and I'll see you there. If you don't qualify for the Wealthy Investor Elite Stock and Options Trading Program, at least visit thewealthyinvestor.net and download the free ebook so you can learn why we're all so excited. I'll see you there. And mahalo for listening.